Okay, so we have finally finished the goal we set ourselves. We are now at a point where we are 80 defense. So the reason I got 80 defense is I'm hoping it will help a little bit with dungeoneering, just running around and doing rooms. But also it just means we're not going to get knocked around too much. And if we wanted to, and if I'm feeling like spenny, I can go and buy the next armors if we want to go and slay and do some stuff. But 80 defense gives us some really big upgrades in terms of things we can wear, which is really, really nice. 81 mage we got a little while ago, and that is probably going to be the combat arc done for a little bit. I did go past what I needed to for this staff, but you know, it happens when you're not really paying attention. So I'm going to go and do this staff really quickly, because what we're going to go and look at next is going to be invention and our machines. So basically with me doing other stuff, what I can have doing in the background is I'm going to need a lot of materials for my invention, both training, perks, all that kind of stuff. So what I want to do nice and early is get my invention machines disassembling stuff for me, so I don't have to do it myself and waste my time disassembling stuff. I can get machines to do it, and it just means it can be done passively, like in the background. And if you're someone looking to train invention in the future, or you're looking to utilize your machines, it's a very big thing to get done, because like certain machines can pay for your membership, whether it's through hide tanners, plank makers, or alchemizers. And also the potion producers as well, very, very good. But 540k XP for the tier 80 and 73 invention, which is really nice. So with that, we actually have the alchemizer, which, yeah, didn't expect that. But let's go and head over to the invention guild, and I can just see what I need to go and upgrade it in terms of materials and stuff, because our invention materials are not great. We need to do a little bit of work to get started and get these machines up and running. And it can just be something I can just AFK in the background for a little bit while we work on doing this. I do think it's something I should really prioritize, so we're finally going to get to it and do it as well. Now that combat's kind of like done for a little bit, I think I'm going to go and work on a little bit of quest skills, get some levels up, especially things like thieving. Thieving needs to be worked on, and a few other little things as well. Now I was debating going on a little bit of a hunter grind, going to actually do some jackalopes myself and use the grace of the elves to be able to do it. But we'll see how we feel about that, because you all know hunter sometimes isn't the one, but we shall see. So this is the invention guild, and if you go to the north, you'll go to the machines. So we need to go and do a few things. No dark, I don't need it. We can skip it. So as you can see here, we need quite a lot of materials. So it is going to be a little bit of disassembling, which, you know, it happens. Our invention material storage really isn't great. Like, look, that is just pitiful. It would have helped when I did all this combat if I had put on scavenging. I didn't, but, you know, we learned from that. That could have really saved us a lot of grief, but we'll just spend the money for it as well, and we'll just get there eventually. But what I'm going to do is go and get these materials. We'll go and disassemble a lot of things. Then I'll come back and I'll report through what we've done and how we've done it as well, and what we've been doing to go and get these materials. And we can go and build the machines, and then after that we can build the hotspots as well, because they're also going to require materials to go and build them up. But the disassemblers is what we're going to do. 81 is when we can actually do the better one, which is really nice actually, but we can still like do a couple. I don't know what generator I can do in a minute, so we can only do the simple one, which is nice. It's good enough to be able to like keep us ticking along a bit, and we'll just do some of the basic disassemblers as well. But I'm gonna go and sort of work out what I need to do, what I need to disassemble, and then we'll come back when it's finished and what my plan is with what we're throwing into the machines. Right, so after some disassembling, I think we're at a point now where we can actually go and make our machines. So we're only gonna go for one disassembler at the minute. I'll work on getting a second one as soon as I can, because again, I want to have as many disassemblers to break down stuff, basically just so I don't have to do it. So we did a simple generator because the next upgrade is going to come at level 80, which I am debating whether to go and do 80 attack and strength at Fetid Zombies or somewhere else. And with the idea of I've got scavenging with that as well, just so I can go and get a lot of materials, which will save me time. I don't mind buying the materials for like the basic components, but the more expensive ones can start getting a little bit pricey. But there we go. Our first disassembler is going to be decent. At the minute, we can actually run 3 of the normal ones, which isn't that bad. And then when we get to like level 81, where we can do the auto disassembler Mark II, we can actually run 1 Mark II and then 2 auto disassemblers, I think. But again, we'll see how we get on in terms of that as well. But really happy with that. Big moves on the account. I do think we are in a period of admin at the minute. So I'm going to try and do some admin, but I am doing quite a lot of big projects on the other 2 accounts. So they should be pumping out the content very soon, while the hogger just keeps working away and chipping away at some AFK goals. And these will come up occasionally with account progress, is that sometimes you just need to take a step back, just do some admin, and like the benefits from it long term will be really nice. I mean, when we've got the ability to have some really decent perks armor, it will pay off massive in the end. But until then, we just got to do a little bit of work. So I'm going to get to it and I'll update you guys on what we've done going forward. And hopefully it's not too painful. Okay, so another day, and we can go and see what our altered assembler has done. So we're just going to go and run over real quick. Now, I've made a decision last night that I am going to go and do level 80 attacking strength at Fetid Zombies AFK. Now, the reason why I'm going to go and do this is because I think the items we're going to get from scavenging is going to be massively beneficial, and it really was something I should have done a little while ago, but you know what, you learn, you move on from it, and we'll definitely not make that mistake again. I am also at some point as well today going to go and finish this next altered assembler, and then once I decide what to throw in it, I'm going to try and like find some useful items. Like I know magic shortbows are very good for like dex components and stuff, and just try and find the ones which are going to give me like the most value for my money, but that is going to be something we'll do a little bit later on. What I'm going to go and do though first, before we go and do anything else, is just go and hop over to the Grand Exchange because we're going to go and buy the Ancient Invention Blueprints. I don't actually need to go and get the Archaeology level to be able to unlock this. I can just buy it off the Grand Exchange. It's going to cost 9 mil, but in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be really worthwhile, and it's something I'm going to end up doing anyway. Now, a little bit of a quick update on the cash situation because we have dropped about 20 mil, which actually isn't too bad to be fair. I think I can live with that. So what we want is the Ancient, and there's actually 3. So there's the tools, there's the gizmos, which we want, and then there's also the XP capacitator, what we keep buying. Now, I'm not in a position where like I'm going to have invention XP spare, so you don't need to do that. I actually got that for a pretty good deal, actually. 5 mil is a really good price. I've paid 9 mil before, and that is a problem I didn't realise we're going to have. 85 invention is what we need to be able to do that, so that is okay. Now, the benefit is from doing all this combat as well, is that we're going to level up a lot of invention because we're going to basically do another round. We've got 2 skills to go and get to level 80, so we've got plenty of combat XP to go and do for this. So that is nice, and that also is a benefit. Now, the reason why I'm going to do Fetid Zombies over Fire Giants is that Fetid Zombies don't need Aggression Potion, and is literally just fully AFK. So like with Fire Giants, I had to check my eye on things, whereas Fetid Zombies, I don't have to. But what I'm going to go and do, we're actually going to invest a little bit of cash into this. So Torex Hammers, I'm going to buy like 5, just because they can take a little bit of a while to buy. So I had to buy one for 1.9 the other day. They've actually bought for a lot cheaper, actually. They've bought for like 900k. So that's actually not bad. I would disassemble those for that kind of price. So, you know what? I'm going to put another 5 in. So I'm just going to have 10 Torex Hammers. Worst case, I'll just sell them. 8 will do. 8 will do. We'll settle on 8. Then I'm going to buy some Bandos as well. Bandos also takes a little while to buy now, which is really weird. I don't know why. So we're going to buy 4 of those, and then if we need to buy more, Bandos is a bit more accessible. So we are investing quite a bit of money into invention, but I do think it will pay off really, really well in the end. So going to go and buy 4 of these, just whack the price up, and hopefully they'll instant buy, because I kind of want to get into combat as soon as possible. So augmenters, we're going to need a fair amount, so I'm going to buy some of those. And I'm also going to commit. So I'm going to commit and make a big purchase. We're going to buy the Brooch. So the Brooch of the God kind of helps in a few sense. One, it should hopefully make us some more cash because it's going to proc the portables a lot more. It's quite essential for skilling. It's a big, big purchase, that. And also as well, it's going to give us the ability of like having the spirit appear, which means we can go and get some more invention components. So I'm going to wear that, so that will then vanish. Yes, I'd like to wear that. So we are down in terms of cash stack to 340 mil, which again is still way beyond what I need. But I'll probably end up doing a little bit of herb lore in the future just to make a bit more money because, yeah, it's always good to have a decent cash stack. But the kind of upgrades I've bought, I've invested in a skill in terms of invention, which does sort of like take a lot of money. Eventually, we'll get to a point where like we won't need to do it. I'm telling you now, like Bandos is getting pricey. Like I'm making a video about Armadillo and Camping like God Wars 1 bosses. But Bandos is starting to creep up. So the final thing I want to buy is what is a Wen book. Or a jazz book. I might buy both. So a jazz book is actually really cheap. It's 3 mil. And if you knew like the jazz book when it was released during Necromancy, the jazz book around Necromancy was just incredible in terms of its use and its value. And I also think a Wen book as well might be a viable pickup at some point. So let's see what price the Wen book is. Wen. Scripture Wen is going to come in at a price of 13 mil, which actually for a Wen book is very, very good. But again, we'll move on from there. So what I need to go and do next, actually, is just go back to the Invention Guild, just because I need to see if I can make some armor shells. I'm going to go to Fort Room for instead because it's got the workbench. So basically, I just need to go and make Scav 2. or a scav 3, whatever scav I can get. Okay, so we've bought the stuff for the extreme invention potion. We'll see if we can make them very shortly. Also bought some more XP capacitators as well, because they are going to push the invention level, and because we're only going to go to level 10 for the Torx hammers and the Bandos set, it just means that we can get substantial XP an awful lot quicker. Like, this 80 attack and strength arc is going to really bump up the invention level, as well as the materials we're going to have as well, and it just gives me something nice AFK. I don't know if you guys go through it every now and then, but sometimes I do lose a little bit of motivation for this account. I suppose really the cash stack kind of caused that because we're so far ahead. And I suppose spending the money is something I've been meaning to do for an awful long time. Whenever I try and like buy skills and stuff, I always try and do it in the most economical way, even if it's going to take me a little bit longer. So the fact we've dumped some money into invention, and hopefully that really pays off with how much sort of invention XP we get, can hopefully be a good thing. So I need to go manufacture some armor shells. Yes, gizmo shells, that's the one. So hopefully we can just do it in like a tour, because I don't really need a massive scav perk. I just need a scavving perk. So the extreme potion, and if we go and do all the precious components, see if we can get better than that. Scav 2, yeah, that's fine. Because we're going to go and break down so many parts, we're going to get so many more parts as well. Let's just see if there's any chance we can go and get a 3. Yeah, just Scav 2. Right, so at least I've got some Scav 2s for the other armor. So Scav 2 and looting will do. So there we go, 3 Scavs is not too bad at all. Right. So what I'm going to do now is just go and augment my armor. I'm going to get set up to go and do some combat. I probably need to go and buy some extremes, because I don't think overloads are quite worth it. Just for zombies, I just don't think you need them, so I'll go and do that. I'm going to go and augment my Bandos and also my Torag well, and then we're going to go to zombies. Pretty much the same thing I've been showing you guys before. It's just going to use the Prayer Necklace, Bone Crusher, and Bunyip and all the other stuff as well, just so we can heal, protect from melee, and then just basically just AFK away. I've got quite a few interesting things I'm doing, obviously on the 7-day bond. The main account's got a little bit of a PVM project at the minute, so this account doesn't need the attention. It can be doing other stuff in the meantime, which will be progressing anyway. This is still progressing the account by leveling it up. It just means I've got some more solid stats than anything, which should be really good in the long run. We just need to sort of like keep going and keep plodding on with it as well. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll report back once we're done what we've gained in terms of levels and stuff, and where we're going to go going forward. So the Brooch for Gods already come in before heavy components. That is why we got that. It's going to be so nice to have that going forward. And it's just going to pay off big time. And yes, it was a big sort of initial bit of cash, but it will definitely pay off. So just before we get started, as you can see by our uncommon materials, pretty pathetic in what we've got at the minute. Nothing too big. So I'm going to go and do, let's say I'll update you guys once we've got 80 attack. And then we'll see what we've got there, and just how much scavenging has picked up for us. So that is going to be the end of this video. Really hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please make sure to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know anything I should be doing on the hogger to sort of go and chase or go for the next sort of goal, because we are getting to a point now where I am very much solidly in the mid game and there's so much to go and do. So some ideas of what you guys will want to see really does help me out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.